Today is going to be a great day. I can sense it in my spirit because the sun is out. We've had a cloudy sky since last week. And I must say to you, has not been a pleasant one for some communities in the country because flood, talk about drainage blocked. Trust me, you don't want to find yourself in this position. But for people who are experiencing this, honestly, we hope that they find solace and the government comes to their rescue. So please, the sun be out. Thank you. I am OLUWAFUNKE, Israel, and it's all great to be here this beautiful Wednesday morning. Welcome on Newspaper Review, where we bring you all of the trending stories on our dailies and also the details of these headlines. Do well to join the conversation this morning. We are live on Facebook and YouTube at Vicinity 95.3 FM. And most importantly, I hope you are feeling great today because it's going to be a great day. No one is going to face difficulties today. We are all going to triumph whatsoever we lay our hands. This is, the feelings you should carry. And trust me, when you have that positive mind to achieving the impossible, it will come to you.
Yeah, it's another beautiful morning and it's another opportunity to go out there and do your best. It's a beautiful morning today, not a cold one like that. But still, we have
like
to,
that.
You have to cover yourself
It's cold
up.
though. It's cold.
With
It's so cold
something
though.
that can keep you warm.
Yeah, but we like the sunshine.
Yes, I pray the sunshine so that we can spread our clothes outside.
All of you are saying about spreading these clothes. Better speak your truth.
Yeah, good morning. It's Wednesday. I'm Aisha Ibrahim, and thanks for joining us on the newspaper review for this morning.
Yeah, and I'll be taking top stories from these dailies: Nigerian Tribune, Daily Independent, The Punch, and The Guardian newspaper.
Yeah, before me this morning is the Vanguard newspaper, the Daily Trust newspaper, and the Nation newspaper.
Yes, let's begin it with the Daily. On Daily Independent, U.S. reduces non-immigrant visa for Nigerians to single entry, 3 months validity. Senate begins probe of NMDPRA CEO as lawyers protest enters day 2. Doubling Nigeria's milk production in 5 years, unrealistic experts. And JAMB announces 150 cut-off mark for varsities admissions. Why we adopted ADC instead of forming new party by Babashir Lawal. Senate pledges not to joke with concurrence bills from reps. And to press more tighter, disciplinary rules after Natasha's incident. Ignore noise makers were not planning to expel Obi, says LP. 2027 election, ADC has no preferred presidential aspirant, says David Mark. APC mocks ADC over allegation of intimidation against coalition. 90% of bandits terrorizing Katsina live with us, live with us, says Governor Rada.
Now, on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the top story is federal government battles IMF over report on inflation poverty. ADC will collapse in 6 months presidency. FCT administration, Ireti King Digbe, Wike locked in verbal war. Federal government pegs admission admission age at 16 as VC sets UTME cut-off mark at 150. Away from Nigeria, US tightens visa rule for Nigerians, limits validity to 3 months single entry. I'm still on Vanguard this morning. Again, Dangote Petroleum Refinery slashes petrol price to 820 naira per litre. And that's all on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
On Nigerian Tribune, U.S. issues new visa policy for Nigerians, non-immigrants, non-diplomatic visas, now single entry 3 months validity. Ulubadan, CCII, President says Ladoja Hill fit as 21-day mourning period for Olakulehin begins. 2027 ADC has no preferred presidential aspirant. Mark. Party assembles 97 lawyers to challenge fake suit against interim leadership to Ondo ex-governorship candidates. Jegede Ajayi Others join coalition. Dangote refinery reduces fuel price again. Ex-depot price now 820 naira per litre. We have issued over 3.5 million passports. Saved 1 billion naira from reforms. Interior Minister. Recovered fund from corruption cases channeled into now fund consumer credit scheme orders EFCC. JAM set 150 as cut of mark for universities. FG pegs university admission age at 16. Declares admission outside caps illegal. EFCC quizzes suspects as customs intercept undeclared foreign currencies worth 659.9 million naira at Kano Airport. CBN ends loan waivers, orders banks to submit capital plans July 14.
Now on Daily Trust newspaper for this morning, NDLEA arrests 37 suspects, destroys cannabis farms in Edo. Suspected supplier of foodstuffs, drugs to bandits arrested in Kwara. Mob lynches guard for allegedly killing visitor in Abuja. Collapse of local government system putting pressure on National Assembly, Bajabiamila. Foundation hosts National Agriculture Symposium in Katsina. Coalition. Opposition parties adopt ADC in Gombe. Zamfara government clears 13.6 billion naira unpaid gratuities. Students accused of setting boyfriend ablaze. Questions over Tinubu's 2027 campaign posters. Federal government hints at electricity tariff hike. FCT primary school teachers suspend 3-month strike. 90% of bandits in Katsina indigenous. Governor Rada, and that's all on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
The Punch. Natasha postpones Senate return as NASA awaits apology. Presidency blast away as Ohaneze demands Kanu's release. 2025 admission. JAM sets 150 benchmark bars under 16. U.S. courts Nigerians visa validity to 3 months. 2027 presidency. Mark cautions Atiku V as FG slams coalition chiefs. Presidency. Mark clash over Tinubu's reforms. APC, PDP, chieftains join ADC in Borno, Gombe, Ondo, Jigawa. Customs, the FCC steps up airport surveillance against money laundering. 3 school children, Okada rider, crushed to death in Oyo. Sadly, sad one, sad, really sad. Adiola will run for governor in 2027, aid confirms.
Now on the Nation newspaper, the top stories are: Governor, bandits live among us in Katsina. Opposition's early 2027 moves won't distract Tinubu, says Idris. President focused on delivery of dividends. Bashiru, APC support in the North solid. Natasha fails to resume at Senate. Senate, House clash over concurrence on bill. Away from Nigeria, US restricts Nigerians' orders to single entry 3-month visas. In sports, 26 Chan Eagles sweat under Chile in Ekene. Flying Eagles set for WAFU BU20 challenge in Accra. And that's all on the Nation newspaper this morning.
Now to The Guardian. Labour Party faction defound threats to expel OB. FG issues 3.5 passports, saved 1 billion from reform, says Minister. 40% of Nigerian children malnourished, Shetima laments. Autonomy, varsities film as FG fixes 150 quota of mark. 16 years admission age. ADC rules out preferential treatment, bars presidential aspirants from public declarations. U.S. holds multiple entry visa for Nigerians, reduces validity to 3 months. Oshu Uriwa stages protest, demands suspension of council funds. NAFDAC uncovers expired chemicals additives worth 1 billion naira, arrest 3 in Lagos. Reps seek to increase seats to 552, allocates 10% to women.
Now to this news on Vanguard newspaper this morning, why I postponed my resumption, Apoti. The senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Apoti-Uduaghan, has explained her decision to shelve her planned resumption at the Senate for legislative duties. According to her, she did so based on legal advice and respect for procedures following a court ruling nullifying her suspension. She also announced her intention to await the certified true copy of the judgment before making her next move.
And to the Guardian, taking the details of this story, FG pegs admission for tertiary institution at 16. The federal government has officially set the minimum admission age for entry into the nation's tertiary institution at 16 years. The minimum admission age directive was announced by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tuji Alausa, on Tuesday during the ongoing policy meeting of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board in Abuja. Alausa emphatically stated that this age requirement is not negotiable. He also issued a stern warning that any admission conducted outside the Central Admission Processing System (CAPS) will be deemed illegal, and those found to be involved in such fraudulent admissions, including head of institution, will face prosecution.
Still on Vanguard newspaper this morning, again, Dangote Petroleum Refinery slashes petrol price to 820 per litre. Dangote Petroleum Refinery yesterday slashed the port price of petroleum motor spirits, also known as petrol, to 820 naira per litre from 838 per litre as competition heightens in Nigeria's democratic markets.
You know, you can join the conversation this morning. We're live on Facebook and YouTube by visiting 95.3 FM. Be right back.
Enjoy.
We are your connection to the sound that surrounds you.
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3.
And back on Nigerian Tribune, I will never betray or be ungrateful to APC. Buhari, former President Muhammad Buhari remains steadfastly loyal to the All Progressives Congress and harbors no rift with President Bola Tinubu, according to his spokesperson, Malam Garba Shehu. Shehu made this disclosure on Monday during an appearance on Trust TV, statements dismissing speculations of a fractured relationship between the two leaders.
Still on Vanguard newspaper this morning, 2027 ADC will collapse in 6 months. Presidency. The presidency has declared that the African Democratic Congress (ADC) coalition will implode within 6 months due to lack of ideology. Speaking in an interview, the special advisor to the president on policy communication, Daniel Bwala, said the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party (LP) in the 2023 election, Dati Baba Ahmed, had already sensed the looming crisis. However, Bwala dismissed any threat from the FDC, saying the coalition had been unable to present alternative policies that could convince Nigerians to vote for them.
Our National Assembly story, concurrence bills, we are brothers. Senate doses tension over reps' threat. Amid growing tension between the House of Representatives and the Senate over alleged delay, consideration of concurrence bills at the Red Chamber, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has dosed the tension, describing the two chambers of the National Assembly as two brothers who could hardly mark much progress without the support of each other. The bills are African Union Convention for the Protection and Assistance of Internally Displaced Persons, Domestication and Enforcement Bill of 2025, and Food Vendors Registration Council of Nigeria Establishment Bill of 2024. On the Nigeria's bicameral legislature, a bill originating from either of the chambers must secure the concurrence of the order before it is considered passed as a law of the National Assembly.
Now, still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, Naira appreciates to 1,560 Naira per dollar in parallel markets. The Naira yesterday appreciated to 1,560 Naira per dollar in the parallel market from 1,565 per dollar. But the Naira depreciated to 1,530 Naira per dollar in the Nigerian Foreign Exchange Market, NFEM. Data published by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, showed that the exchange rate for the Naira rose to 1,530 Naira per dollar from 1,529,000 per dollar on Monday, indicating 1 Naira depreciation for the Naira.
Now, LP Abure Nenadi's faction camps disagree over threats to expel Peter Obi. The warring groups in the Labour Party on Tuesday disagreed over an alleged plot to expel the party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi from the party, the scene of the former governor of Anambra State, according to explains that group of the faction controlled by Julius Abure, the LP's national chairman, in his decision to join other politicians in the coalition under the African Democratic Congress. However, a chairman of the National Caretaker Committee, NCC, of the party, Senator Nenadi Usman, dismissed the threat, saying that the Labour Party had no intention of expelling Obi.
Now, to Daily Trust newspaper this morning, suspected supplier of foodstuffs, drugs to bandits arrested in Kwara. A 36-year-old man suspected of attempting to deliver drugs, foodstuffs and alcoholic beverages to bandits has been apprehended in Patigi Town, Kwara State. The suspect, identified as Yaman Patigi, was allegedly intercepted over the weekend while reportedly en route to a suspected bandit hideout within Patigi local government area.
And now to the Punch newspaper. On 2027 presidency, Mark cautions Atiku will be accept Islam's coalition chiefs. The interim national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, Senator David Mark, in a statement on Tuesday, said the new coalition had no favorite presidential candidate amid reports that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, and former Minister of Transport Rotimi Amechi, amongst others, were front runners for the party's ticket for the 2027 election. In the statement released by his media team on Tuesday in Abuja, Mark emphasized that all party members were equal stakeholders. A deceased 2023 presidential candidate, Dumebi Kashiku, had accused the Mark-led interim leadership of the party of being biased in favor of Atiku, with growing concerns that the ambitions of the three contenders could divide the party.
Still on Daily Trust newspaper for this morning, collapse of local government system putting pressure on National Assembly, Gbajabiamila. The Chief of Staff to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has raised alarm over the growing pressure on the National Assembly resulting from the collapse of local government administration across the country. Speaking yesterday at the opening ceremony of 2025 National Assembly Open Week, organized by the House of Representatives in Abuja, Gbajabiamila said the dysfunction of the third tier of government has left federal lawmakers overwhelmed with demands that fall outside their constitutional mandates.
And now to the story on the Punch, where presidency fires back at Obi as Ohaneze demands Kanu's freedom. The ongoing detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has reignited tensions between the presidency and major voices from the southeast among the voices of the Apex Igbo socio-political group. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, the IPOB and former Anambra State Governor and 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, while IPOB and Ohanaeze hailed Obi's recent call for Kanu's release as timely and morally courageous. The presidency accused Obi of having separatist tendencies and sympathizing with IPOB. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, speaking to journalists in Lagos at the weekend, said the federal government was open to negotiation and negotiating the release of Kanu. However, insisted it should not be used as a condition for political support.
Still on Daily Trust newspaper this morning, Foundation hosts National Agriculture Symposium in Katsina. The Southern Katsina Ahmed Rufai Abubakar Foundation yesterday convened a national symposium on agriculture, food security and poverty alleviation in Katsina. The event brought together policymakers, agricultural experts, researchers, farmers and development practitioners to explore strategies for enhancing productivity and strengthening the agricultural value chain. The Katsina State Governor Diko Umar Rada, represented by the Secretary of the State Government, Abdullahi Garba Faskari, reaffirmed the central role of agriculture in the state development agenda and highlighted the government investment in mechanization, irrigation and rural infrastructure.
Now, this sad story this morning where three children, school children, and a car rider were crushed to death in Oyo. A commercial truck on Tuesday crushed three secondary school students and one commercial motorcyclist, popularly called a car rider, to death in the Oluwole local government area of Oyo. The incident occurred on the Obanla Idiayure road in the morning when the students were going to school. Multiple witnesses told Punch Metro that the driver of a commercial truck operating in the area rammed into the motorcycle carrying the three students after a failed attempt to overtake another vehicle and crush them. The driver of the truck has reportedly run away and from the accident scene immediately. One of the eyewitnesses, Akiola Oweye, told Punch correspondent that the commercial motorcyclist and two students died immediately, while the third student was eventually pronounced dead at a nearby hospital where he was crushed to.
Now to Zamfara. Zamfara government clears 13.6 billion unpaid gratuities. The Zamfara state government has cleared 13.6 billion naira in unpaid gratuities owed to retired civil servants dating back to 2011. Governor Dauda Lawal made the announcement on Tuesday while inaugurating the Contributory Pension Implementation Committee following the presentation of a comprehensive report on the payment of outstanding benefits. In a statement issued by his spokesperson Sulaiman Idris, Governor Lawal described the clearance of the gratuity backlog as a major milestone for his 2-year-old administration.
Adiola will run for Ogun governorship in 2027, says aide. The Senate representing Ogun West Senatorial District, Solomon Adiola, popularly called Yayi, will heed calls to contest the 2027 Ogun State governorship election. This was stated by his special assistant on new media, Damilari Oloyede, in a post shared via his social media handle on Tuesday. According to him, Adiola had garnered significant grassroots support across the state and was poised to receive the backing of the incumbent governor as he launched his bid for the governorship seat.
It's a sad one this morning. On Daily Trust newspaper, student accused of setting boyfriend ablaze. Tragedy struck in the Choba area of Port Harcourt, River State over the weekend when a pregnant 300-level student of the University of Port Harcourt, Uniport, identified as Cynthia Chukunda, allegedly burnt her boyfriend, Sonny Amadi, 32 years old, to death. While the exact circumstances leading to Cynthia's actions are unclear, Some neighbors told the media it might have resulted from a minor argument between the couple, and it was gathered that the deceased is the father of the child Cynthia is carrying.
Well, now on the Guardian, since ASU, announced that if their salary for June is not paid after 3 days when it's supposed to be paid, they would go on strike. Now, FG insists that ASU is not on strike as ATBU chapter resumes academic activities, and the federal government has debunked reports in some quarters that the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, is on strike. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, made the rebuttal in a statement yesterday, emphasizing the Nigerian government's commitment to maintaining industrial harmony in tertiary institutions. He attributed the current stability in universities to sustained dialogue, mutual respect, and the government's dedication to addressing staff demands. Alausa stated the Nigerian public tertiary institutions have remained open and stable for the past 2 years. And let's keep it that way, and then let's pay their salaries and we move on.
But if we keep it that way, don't you think it will affect the students?
I said let's keep it that way and pay their salaries.
Okay. Coalition. Opposition parties adopt ADC in Gombe. The coalition of opposition political parties in Gombe State has adopted the African Democratic Congress (ADC) as the platform to contest the 2027 election in the state. The ADC was unveiled as adopted party during an expanded caucus meeting held yesterday in Gombe. Speaking at the event, a former Minister of Transportation and leader of the coalition in the state, Senator Abdullah Idris Umar, said the alliance by the opposition parties which adopted the ADC is not aimed at only ousting the ruling All Progressive Party from power, but also to salvage people of Gombe State, the nation and its citizens from current socio-economic woes inflicted to the party by the party.
Now REP seeks to increase seats to 552 and allocate 10% to women. 10%. I didn't say it, so Senate said it. The House of Representatives said so. The House of Representatives has proposed a constitution amendment to reserve 10% of seats in the National Assembly for women and 5% for persons with disabilities. Under the proposed framework, 83 additional seats will be created exclusively for women. That is 55 in the House of Representatives, increasing its membership from 360 to 415, and 28 in the Senate, raising the total number of seats in the National Assembly from 469 to 552. The Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, who announced the proposal yesterday at the official opening of the 2025 House of Representatives Open Week and launch of the 10th House Midterm Legislative Scorecard in Abuja, said the draft amendment seeks to embed the quotas in the Constitution to ensure long-term gender and disability inclusion.
Now on the Nation newspaper this morning, opposition's early 2027 moves won't distract Tinubu, says Idris. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not distracted by the antics of opposition politicians, threatening fire and brimstone ahead of 2027 polls. Information and National Orientation Minister Muhammad Idris said this yesterday. He said the president is firmly committed to his core mandate of delivering meaningful reforms and fostering economic growth. Idris also said that in the last 2 years, the vision has been yielding tangible results.
Now, let's go to comments on our Facebook page from Sir Julius Oleguna. Beautiful morning to you, sir. Said, good morning, vicinity family worldwide. It's been a raining, cold, yet bright day. Let's make the most of it. Yes.
Thank you. Good morning.
And ASU, the FG should do the needful, pay the varsity lecturers, and allow peace to reign. Let's allow peace to reign. And this brings me to The Guardian. Varsities fume as FG fixes 150 cut-off mark, 16 years admission age. Well, when we listen to that, we watch,
The video.
the stakeholders meeting, universities,
Yeah.
JAMB, and the examination boards. The minister said if you are in support of, if you think we
Yes.
should set it at 150,
Second it.
say something, say something to this. Now, the
Yeah.
quest for autonomy by Nigerian public tertiary institutions yesterday received another body blow as the federal government, the primary financier and principal of those schools, reviewed and fixed the blanket admission criteria that pegged the entry age at 16 years. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, a federal government agency, also raised the minimum cut-off marks for university admission from 120 to 150 for the 2025-2026 academic session, while admission into colleges of nursing was pegged at 140. Polytechnics and colleges of education were left at 100. The decision reached during the 2025 policy meeting on admissions in Abuja reflected a collective effort by stakeholders to prioritize transparency, fairness, and academic excellence in the nation's tertiary education system. Although it was still stated that, well, a tertiary institution could still, raise the cutoff as they deem fit, seen to maybe according to department or faculty, students are seeking admission into. So don't start jumping up and say, 150 or well. By the time you get to some other universities, they tell you, no, for this course you're about to study, we're not going to take 150 as cut off.
Now, still on the Nation newspaper, meet the new Olubadan in waiting, ex-governor Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja is next in line to ascend the son of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, following the death of Oba Owolabi Olakuleyin on July 7. Under Ibadan's unique rotational system of traditional leadership, Ladoja as Otun Olubadan, the highest ranking chief in civil line, holds the top position in succession line. The stone of the Olubadan of Ibadan land stands as a remarkable anomaly within Nigeria's traditional leadership landscape.
Osun Iriwa protest to demand suspension of council funds. Adeleke renews commitment to school feeding program 6 partnership. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, Uriwa, yesterday protested in Abuja, calling on the federal government to cease financial allocations to individuals illegally occupying local council positions in Osun State under the banner of the All Progressives Congress. The protest march kicked off at the Unity Fountain and proceeded to the offices of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Finance, where letters were presented demanding strict adherence to court judgments and the rule of law. National Coordinator of Uriwa, Emmanuel Umobiko, who addressed journalists during the march, accused APC officials of flouting valid court judgments by unlawfully retaining control of local council secretariats in Osun State.
Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, LP chairman joins APC as Sanwo-Olu solicits votes for party. The Labour Party chairman in Apapa local government of Lagos State, Prince Femi Badia, yesterday led some members of party across Lagos Central to the ruling All Progressive Party (APC). Badia declared for the ruling party at the Lagos Central Senatorial District APC mega rally held at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos. He said the governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's performance and the lead to support him and President Bola Tinubu in 2027 to record more successes motivated their decision. Badia also added he and supporters defected to join forces APC to ensure the ruling party wins Saturday's council polls in the senatorial district.
Group counters as Soludo claims Southeast criminals are Igbo. Igbo leaders applicant church tax Tinubu on insecurity collapse of businesses. Anambra State Governor Chikuma Soludo has notified Anambra indigenous residents in the United States that the criminals terrorizing the Southeast are not Fulanis, but Igbo indigenes. There had been the notion that most of the kidnap activities taking place in the Southeast were done by Fulani terrorists living in the bushes in the zone, and disguised as headsmen with the intent to conquer. But while addressing indigenes of Anambra in the U.S. during a town hall meeting in Maryland, the governor insisted the 99.99% of criminals arrested in Anambra were not Fulani but Igbo. He said the so-called liberators hiding in the forest are homegrown criminals, feeding fat on blood money.
Now, on sports, on the Nation newspaper this morning, Super Falcons not under pressure in bid for 10th WAFCON title, says Ihezu. Experienced striker Chinwedu Uezu said the Super Falcons are not oblivious of the challenges that lies ahead of them in their quest to secure a record 10th title of the ongoing Women African Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco. Adding the coach Gris Madugu-led side will take everything in their strides toward achieving their objectives at the tournament.
Now this brings me to Lagos. As we aware, our Lagos gear up for the local government election. They have now put to an end their mega rallies, and the Lagos APC tax members on victory at the LG poll.
Still on the Nation newspaper and on sports, Rivers United confirmed participation for a Eco International Cup. One of the Nigeria's representatives in the CAF Champion League, Rivers United Football Club of Port Harcourt, have confirmed participation in the forthcoming Eco International Cup. Sky, in collaboration with Lagos State Government, is staging the competition expected to feature a total of 8 teams.
And now, CSO slam Kano police silence on Sanusi's palace attack, demand probe. The coalition of civil society organizations have faulted what they describe as deafening silence of Kano Police Command 48 hours after the deadly attack on Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II palace. Beside the groups demanded security explanation over the invasion of the palace, destruction of properties, including 2 operational vehicles of the police command, and macheted of palace guard, allegedly orchestrated by supporters of 15th Emir Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero.
Still on sports on the Nation newspaper, new boss Salami vows to turn over 3XC. The new appointed chairman of Shooting Stars Sports Club 3SC of Ibadan, Honorable Taiwo Lekon Salami, has assured of a massive facelift for the Oluyole Warriors. The sport administrator cum business mogul gave this assurance during its first official meeting with members of the management team and staff at the club's Jericho office. Salami took time to hold discussions with members of the management team and as well sought the current situation of the club with a view of actualizing his vision.
Now, this is how we wrap it up on newspaper review this morning. Natasha has postponed Senate's return as NAS awaits apologies. Suspended lawmaker representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Aduan, reneged on our promise to resume legislative duty on Tuesday following Friday's judgment, which nullified a 6-month sanction. The senator also failed to tender a public apology in 2 major dailies and a social media account in line with the court order. Akpoti-Aduan had told her jubilant supporters in a video trending on social media that she would resume her legislative activities in the Red Chamber on Tuesday. Well, she didn't resume yesterday, and now Senate is, said that they would get the certified true copy of the court's judgments before any decision is taken. Thank you for joining us on Newspaper Review this morning on your dial station, Vicinity 95.3 FM. It's Wednesday. Go out there and win today. We win or we win. It's this or nothing. Our producer is Mujib Olakunle. Thank you for always supporting, the Newspaper Review crew. I am OLUWAFUNKE Israel. Do have yourself a cool day. It's a cool season, and let's make sure we're not, filling our drainage with dirt, and let's free our drainage so we can have free flow of water. Because this season of rain, you really don't want to, find yourself where flooding, carries, you're affected by the flood because it's all over. Go to Texas, US, people have died from flood. Let's not forget the issue in Niger State, where, residents who survived the flood are still, praying and hoping that they return back to, their lives. They have their lives back. And also, just look across the world. A lot is happening. So don't think this is just a Nigerian thing. It's a pandemic. So it's a natural one that we cannot stop it, but it's a way we can mitigate the effect on our lands. Please do the needful. I'm OLUWAFUNKE Israel. Great to have you on the show this morning. Join us again on the morning show.
Yeah, it's another beautiful day, and it's another opportunity to go out there and make use of the day and be productive. And like Funke said, let's be careful the flood, so that the flood won't get to affect you in one way or the other. Do have a great day. I am Aisha Ibrahim.
Yeah, bye for now.
Enjoy.